Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to today's morning ramble. And today I wanted to share the difference between being an expert on wines and being an expert on vines. And what I mean by that is between being an expert on how things are as opposed to an expert on how things get created. So I have some friends who are, we can safely call them wine experts. They can sample different wines and they can tell you a little bit about the region that it's probably from and the grape and the notes and the smells. But if I sent them to an empty field and said, hey, make me some wine, most of them wouldn't even know where to begin. Similarly, I have a friend who's a coffee connoisseur. She can drink a cup of coffee. She worked at Starbucks for years. And she can drink a cup of coffee and she can pretty much, like a party trick, tell you, it's 1/2 Sumatra bean and it's 1/8 Colombia and it's this and that. And it's really cool, but if I sent her to a field on the side of a mountain in Colombia, she couldn't make me coffee. Well, we're the same when it comes to ourselves and our way of being in the world. We may have become an expert on know thyself. Well, I'm a Libra, I'm a 6 on the Enneagram, I'm this on the disc profile, I'm this in Myers-Briggs. And we talk about ourselves as if knowing ourselves, becoming an expert on ourselves, is becoming an expert on the form our lives currently are taking, the forms our personalities and psychologies are currently taking. Which is a bit like being an expert on wines without knowing anything about vines, being an expert on coffee without knowing anything about how to grow a bean. It's similar in some ways, we could say, to becoming an expert on shaped ice cubes without any real understanding of water. So let's say that we got a human-shaped ice tray, and we filled it with water, and we froze it, and out comes you. But you got a bit of a tummy, and your thighs look fat, and you don't like your hair. Now, you might try to accept that about yourself. You might try to work on yourself and chip away at your tummy and your thighs. But if you really understand how it works, you know that in any minute you can melt back to the water, pour yourself into a new tray, and emerge with the thighs of your dreams, the tummy of your dreams, or whatever thing that you are not, well, I'm a 6 on the Enneagram or a 2 on the Enneagram or an 8 on the Enneagram, so therefore I'm like this. Well, I'm a ENTJ, so therefore did you see his disc profile? That explains him. And we miss the fact that becoming an expert on what's already been created doesn't really give us a lot of room for growth and change. Becoming an expert on what creates, on what is there before the creation, allows every moment and every day to be part of a reinvention, a recreation, a fresh start. Not, okay, well, I don't have a lot to work with here, but let me see what I can do. I'll cut the hair different. I'll do a makeover. Right? What if the makeover can happen from the inside out? I actually was pitched a television pilot once where they wanted to do a makeover show. And they wanted me to be the inside-out makeover guy, and they wanted somebody else to come in and be the outside-in makeover person. And the problem with it, and the reason that I wasn't excited to go ahead with it, was really I was the kind of, we should have something psychological in there, but really it's about, look at her hair. And it's kind of the same for us. So here's my point in this morning's ramble. What if you really could look before the form? What if you really could start seeing more and more and more about how we're made and take your eye off being so focused on what current form we've been made into? if you could really start from scratch, what would you want to create? And please share your thoughts and reflections in the comment section below. Have fun, learn heaps, and I'll talk with you soon.